1.953 kilograms of cocaine and methamphetamine were intercepted from the suspects. He stated that Uso Johnson was arrested on Wednesday, December 8, during an inward screening of Ethiopian Airlines passengers at the arrival hall of the Ekanu Ibiam Airport. According to him, Johnson, who arrived from Brazil via Addis Ababa, was arrested with clothes impregnated with cocaine, which has a gross weight of 6.7 kilograms. In the another trafficker, 53-year-old Ude Charlie, was arrested at the Enugu airport for ingesting 72 wraps of cocaine weighing 1.253 kilograms. Baba Femi said that he was arrested on Friday, December 3rd, during outward screening of Ethiopian Airlines passengers going to Rome via Addis Ababa. In a related development, another trafficker, 25-year-old John Kaja, a Ghanaian, was arrested on Friday, December 3rd. Baba Femi stated that the suspect is arrested with 2 kilograms of methamphetamine during an outward clearance of Qatar Airways from Abuja to Doha.
So, what is it? I don't know, sir. I can't tell. You bought the bag. You can see the bag. It's a new bag. I bought the bag. I haven't.
Experts on gender-based violence have urged journalists to help in identifying the gaps and prompt action from policymakers that will end the menace. The expert speaks at a media roundtable organized by women groups held in Abuja. Adamu Imam completes the report.
Mrs. Helen John, an activist, says the recent estimate stated that nearly 1 in 3 women aged 15 years and above around the globe have been subjected to physical or sexual violence by an intimate partner and non-partner at least once in their lifetime, says it is time to buttress to end the menace.
State like Bauchi, the state government have been benevolent enough to pass a law that has to do with violence against persons prohibition law in Bauchi State.
Black Afsa, a media partner, noted with dismay that women are the prime target, hence the need for total collaboration in that aspect.
For the participants, because we are media persons, I would love that when we've been able to get here, we'll also go out there and then we educate the populace more, so that way we'll have a freer and a better society.
Participants during the media roundtable asked critical questions and agreed to sustain the tempo while engaging opinion leaders as well.
For the public to open up, to come forward and say their case. It's no longer their case, as the legal practitioner rightly said here, that gender-based violence case, especially rape case, is no longer a case of the family but a state case.
The women groups also said the media is critical stakeholder to gender-based issues and prevention by educating the publics about their legal rights. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Persons with disability in Abuja have urged the federal government to sensitize the public on the Discrimination Against Persons Living with Disability Act to ensure total inclusion in the society. They made this call during a national summit of persons with disabilities in Abuja. Trust TV's Maridia Umar reports.
The summit attracted members of the National Assembly, international NGOs and relevant stakeholders from across the world to discuss how to change the narrative for persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Some persons with disability at the summit speak on some of the challenges they face in the society.
Once our community member notice that I'm different, they will help me with gun. View me with gun as if I am not perfect person as them. This to me is very painful and a challenge. because myself, I'm married with children. I'm a house owner, even more than those who are making a mockery of my disability. And as a landlord within my area now, there is a World Community Development Association meeting. I was relegated to the background on account of my differences. This is a frequently the commission to act. They need to be more punitive. It's the only solution for us to enjoy the benefit of the recent prescribed bill on the person with disability.
So many persons have looked down on me because of my skin color. And before now, it has really bring me down. It has affected me psychologically, and somehow it affected me. I use the word hard because it's no longer the inferiority complex. But with exposure, I grew out of it, and I believe people are more enlightened nowadays because I face less of it nowadays.
Great. Facing discrimination, do what you ought to do, but you can't do it, and so many other things. If I have to say, here the time will not be enough for me to tell you what I have passed through being a person with disability. But hopefully we are managing and coping with the situation. God's willing, all is well.
And you will agree with me that in line with the SDGs mantra of leave no one behind, it was important or has become important as a matter of fact that more and more people are conversant with the realities that persons with disabilities face in the country, especially like Nigeria and around the world. They are the most marginalized socially. They have very limited, if any, access to proper education, to employment opportunities, and they are at the receiving end of most of the prejudices that the society has. And so a summit like this gives us an opportunity to, drum up widespread support and sensitization around the issues surrounding disability, and then see a way that the society can come together and form a structure that is equitable, sustainable, and inclusive for every person with disability.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities said that soon the enforcement of accessibility minimum standard in our public buildings will begin, calling on all public building holders at the federal, state and local council level to stick to the building code because the enforcement will begin in the next 2 years. Mardia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Federal government has threatened to ban travelers and airlines from Canada, the UK, Saudi Arabia and Argentina if they do not take Nigeria off their red lists. Reacting to the development, Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika said those countries will be out on the red alert lists not later than Tuesday if they do not remove Nigeria from the lists of banned countries. He said the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID has met and reviewed the various travel bans placed on Nigerian citizens and concluded that the ban was unacceptable. The countries had included Nigeria among nations restricted over the Omicron COVID variant. Meanwhile, the ban imposed on Nigeria and some other African countries has triggered backlash, with many demanding a review of the action, while the countries which took the action have refused to budge. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break. Sanitary pad use and recycling techniques. We'll now go for a short break. Stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Now a look at our top stories. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA has arrested a Ghanaian and 2 Nigerians at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport NAIA Abuja and at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport in Enugu respectively for drug trafficking. And federal government has threatened to ban travelers and airlines from Canada, the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia and Argentina if they do not take Nigeria off their red lists. Now moving to other news. As Nigeria continues to face security threats, economic hardship and endemic corruption, the judiciary must leap above the challenges so as to continue to play its stabilizing role in the country's democracy. Stakeholders during a lecture organized by Nembese Lawyers Forum in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State Capital, in memory of late Justice Ambrose Alagwa, met the resolution. The report.
The former Attorney General of the Federation, Kanwa Gabi San, said there is little the judiciary can do to help a country where disobedience to the rule of law, electoral law and lack of equal opportunities for Nigerians confront government at all levels. Agabi said the country's democracy has been characterized by assimilation of the opposition parties, which has given rise to a culture of praise singing. He said government at all levels must realize that constructive opposition is essential for the growth of democracy and efficient judiciary, hence the need for the country to run a constructive and transparent government to restore active opposition.
The assimilation of the opposition has been aided and facilitated by the fact that the legislature, instead of operating along party lines, has often operated as a faction.
Speaking further, the former Attorney General said the judiciary cannot cope if the country persists in fighting falsehood with falsehood, vice with vice, and violence with violence, stating that for democracy to thrive, there's the need for equal opportunities to all Nigerians. Chairman of the Nembese Lawyers Forum, Ayabasi Beredugo, stressed the essence of the program.
To inspire us, the young and the old, individually and collectively, in the practice and aspirations of the law, justice, leadership, and community service. Our plan and intention is to make this lecture an annual event by inviting leading figures and legal personalities to deliver the memorial lecture to advance public understanding not only of the life and times of our hero, but also to instigate public conversation around topical issues of law, human rights, and development.
Wife of the late legal luminary, Lady Francisca Alagwa, and all the participants commended the extraordinary roles he played to denounce lawlessness, protect human rights, and uphold the rule of law under military dictatorship.
I will say, today is the day that our Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in him. This is a long-expected event. Members, lawyers, God bless you all. God bless you all. You put smiles on my face. You added more years to my life.
Daddy has been a blessing to us. And one of the things he believed there's ability in disability. He never believed in pity party, him and our lovely mommy. And I will tell you sincerely, they love us so much. Most of us are in the higher institution.
Legal practitioners at the lecture said since Nigeria became independent in 1960, the country has never been governed democratically for more than 22 years at a stretch until the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1999.
A joint vehicle verification committee has commenced a verification exercise in Kebbi State to fish out vehicles without proper documentation. In the course of the exercise, vehicles including cars, trucks, motorcycles and tricycles are expected to be screened to determine their documentation and roadworthiness. Kebbi State correspondent Hamza Galadi Mazuru has spawned the report.
With With the end of the year fast approaching and the ongoing efforts by government across the country to ensure a secure society both before, during and after the oncoming festivities, in Kebbi State, stakeholders have commenced a rigorous vehicle verification exercise with a view to checkmating the infiltration of unlicensed vehicles into the state. The exercise, which was jointly conducted by the police, Federal Road Safety, vehicle inspection officers and the staff of the judiciary in Kebbi State, focused on ensuring that all vehicles plying roads in the state are properly licensed and roadworthy. This includes private and commercial vehicles, as well as motorcycles. The exercise, according to the chairman of the Joint Exercise Committee, Alhaji Ilyasu Azikajega, was part of a security strategy being adopted in Kebbi State to formally identify all vehicles within the state, as well as those coming in or just passing through. He further said so far the committee has been able to fish out vehicle owners of questionable character, as well as assisted in detecting stolen vehicles in the course of the exercise.
So because there's a lot of reports coming to our office and the sector was stolen, we do receive from all over the nations, specifically to the nation, Lagos State, they do send making to inquire who owns this number. So we do send this DSS and whatever, they do send just to find out. So what we find in our system, we may come across that maybe it's a stolen vehicle. That number has belonged to Y and Z. It's not belong to C and Z. So this is all the way we are doing to ensure that there's correctness of people to register their listing formally.
The exercise was, however, not without incidents, as not all motorists agreed to be verified, with some of them putting up a resistance in the effort to get away from the prying eyes of the committee members. Efforts by Trust TV to speak to some of the defaulters apprehended by the members of the committee, however, proved abortive, with none of them agreeing to speak on camera. Hamza Galadi Mazuru, Trust TV News from Birnin Kebbi.
In an effort to empower women in Plateau State and to further nip the sufferings of crisis victims in the bird, a non-governmental organization has intensified their outreach to the vulnerable. The initiative began their empowerment program in Congo, Russia area of just north local government of Plateau State, where this crisis first broke out from in the year 2001, would spread to other parts of the state since then. Speaking to Trust TV during the outreach, the coordinator, Bridget Dakes, said a fundamental aspect of the empowerment program is training women on sanitary pad production and reuse techniques, stressing that sanitary pad is a fundamental aspect of women's health need since it's often required during their monthly cycle. Dixon Adama has more on the report.
Program with Women for Women International. They came into our community to help women in handwork and to see how they will develop a woman and to be a responsible person in a society. Like in our community, now that we have been involved in so many crises, our community is a flashpoint area in Jos North local government. And we are picking up. We have so many challenges as a woman in this community, challenges of maybe losing your loved ones, losing maybe even your husband at the cause of the crisis. But Women for Women did it fit to come to this community to see that they help women to start something tangible, and they should acquire skill, and we are going to
support ourselves. But with this program, I think we can support ourselves very much.
The entire concept of this project is to train women on how to reproduce reusable sanitary pads, not just to produce it, but to package it and brand it to make it fit for market consumption. So we're training these women because we have, with the ever-increasing financial challenges that women are facing, a lot of women are out of businesses. we have come to empower women through the production and sale of these reusable sanitary pads, and to also enlighten women to get aware about what happens around their bodies and reproductive system. So we are going to talk today with this women in our empowerment and awareness campaign. Today's program is entirely on awareness. It's an awareness campaign with the distribution of reusable sanitary pads, and also awareness about what goes on in their system.
Congo, Russia is just not the Plateau State capital, where the crisis of 2001 began from. And since then, the state has been involved in several skirmishes and crises and ethno-religious violence. However, the Women for Women initiative, NGO, came here to empower the women in several ways. How to take care of themselves health-wise, use of reusable sanitary pads, and all of that. Because their thinking is that whenever there's crisis, the women and children suffer the most. That's why they are here to begin to empower the women across the ethno-religious divides.
U.S. President Joe Biden has pledged support to states affected by a swarm of devastating tornadoes that demolished homes, leveled businesses, and left at least 100 people feared dead. Describing the tornadoes as likely one of the largest storm outbreaks in history, Biden approved an emergency disaster declaration for the worst-hit state of Kentucky, where at least 22 people have been confirmed dead. The powerful twisters, which weather forecasters say are unusual in cooler months, destroyed a candle factory in Mayfield, Kentucky, ripped through a nursing home in neighboring Arkansas, and killed at least 6 workers at an Amazon warehouse in Illinois. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said the collection of tornadoes is the most destructive in the state's history, adding that about 40 workers had been rescued at the candle factory, which had about 110 people inside when it was reduced to a pile of rubble. And sports administrators in Bauchi State appeal to the federal government to invest and focus more in other sporting activities rather than soccer alone. Correspondent Adamu Imam reports that sports facilities have remained as a structure for many years without maintenance. His report.
Some sport facilities here in the state capital were built during military administration, but since then no facility upgrade or encouragement from the side of the government. However, manager of Olympic swimming pool Science Farouk Usman says with support more talent will be discovered and urged the authority to look inward.
The government should consider the sports, should come back to the grassroots and support the coaches through inter-sport. Like I said, they will sponsor the competition, different competitions, because this is where we pick the hiding talented athletes and they can represent the state in national sport festival in different competitions as well.
John Oneike, a veteran swimming coach, lamented that the government only focusing on football for years, while other sports are still dying.
Just the facilities the military build, they are dying. Like our own swimming pool here, they are facing a lot of difficulty. You can imagine you are buying one of all this chemical chlorine, almost 85,000 naira. How can we manage it within ourselves? You understand? It is very, very bad that state government, federal government, local government did not care. You only care for football. Anytime one football comes in, they will give up football for 100% because no, they believe that football generates. You also have other games can necessarily generate, like wrestling. If you put a wrestling mat and people now come and watch the wrestling, they will pay also. Yeah. This time.
Koyi jin daɗi. Da taimake ƙasa na. Na zo ne akan na sha'awar na koyi ruwa kuma dan na so in zama sojan ruwa.
The sport managers maintain that if business investment in sport can improve the nation economy, the young talent are ready to make Nigeria proud in the near future while given the chance through motivation. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
That ends Trust TV News Update. I'm Shafiu Suleiman, thanking you for staying with us.